Hello. This is Stephanie Lindloff from Our Natural Wisdom, and I am so pleased to be here with you today. This is the postponed broadcast of part three of the Deepen Your Intuition Through Water Wisdom series. I had originally planned for it to be on Friday, but we had a lot of construction background noise and it just wasn't good for doing a video of this type. So I had to postpone it, and I'm so happy to be here with you today. Um, I am just a brief introduction if you're new to me. I am an eco-intuitive life coach. Um, my focus is high achieving, highly sensitive women who are seeking deeper personal fulfillment in their lives. And we tap into this and create this through deepening your connection with your intuition, your natural wisdom that you were born with and have always had throughout many lives. I especially focus on deepening your ancient partnership with Mother Earth. And this is um, it's a beautiful way to tap into your intuition because the earth is life source. It is a physical manifestation of source here on planet Earth. And it's just a beautiful way to reconnect and reawaken and deepen your personal intuition. So this is the third and final part of a three-part series on deepening your intuition through water wisdom. Today we're going to be talking about the confluence, which is the meeting of two waters or more, two or more waters. And the first two parts, the first part is on springs, headwaters, and the second part is on rivers and streams. And all of the parts are available to view on Facebook, on my Facebook page at Our Natural Wisdom, or on my webpage at ournaturalwisdom.com/water wisdom. That's all one word, water wisdom. It's really easy to access all of them right there on that page. So before we begin, I invite you to take some nice deep cleansing breaths. We're going to ground ourselves. And I also wanted to just say I am joining you from a very small office structure that we've been in the process of building on our property to work out of, both my husband and I, for the foreseeable future. So it's a bit of an odd background, but you'll see it progress over time. It's going to become a really beautiful place to be providing these offerings. I'm looking forward to that. So let's take some nice deep breaths. Really feel into wherever you are right now. Feel the presence of your physical body as it's resting on the earth. Feel how much support the earth is providing you in this moment, in every way. From where you are, resting your body to where you've taken in any water today, any foods, all of these things, the air that you're breathing, anything that required cooking or heating. These are all of the elements that are present in your life: earth, air, fire, and water, always supporting you in every moment. And today we're especially going to connect with how water is supporting you in this moment. Imagine the waves, the ripples, the pulsing of water moving through your body, aiding every system of your body, cleansing and nourishing, allowing you to move freely and effortlessly without even thinking about it. Really feeling into how you are such a water entity. Your physical presence contains so much water. Of course, it makes sense that you also are connected with waters that you see in nature. And feeling the water flowing through your body, bring your hands to your heart, both palms of your hands over your heart center. And sending so much gratitude to the waters that support you every moment, every day, throughout your life. And welcoming the wisdom of those waters to speak through your intuition to you, whatever personal message they have for you today. And also welcoming your guardian angels, your spirit guides, any spirit animals. Welcoming your soul and knowing that your soul is always with you and your soul is always leading the way. Your soul's language is your intuition. And as you welcome your intuition, you are welcoming your soul's wisdom. It is so abundantly providing you in every moment. And now, taking another nice deep breath, we feel our groundedness to the earth once more. And let's begin. So, the third part of this series is the confluence, which may be a new word for you. It generally means a meeting point, and the confluence of waters in particular has long been a sacred space for many traditions, culturally and spiritually, throughout the world and throughout time. The sacred nature of the meeting of two waters, or more than two waters, has represented a really deep space, a portal really for deep healing and blessing. And we see this in many ways, in many traditions. I think it's worth noting that we also see it from a cultural perspective, where so many cities have been located at the confluence of waters. And this originated not only for, practical reasons, commercial reasons, navigation and such, but this is a place where people have gathered for centuries, millennia. So when we think of connecting in our mind's eye with the confluence of waters, this is a really powerful place to focus our intentions, to focus our mind's eye and our visualization, because it's not only a physical gathering, but it's an energetic gathering. And as I've been meditating on this and spending time just receiving this, the message that these waters have and want to share, I have realized that this is a gathering of wisdom, which is so profound, especially in this time, because we tap into our deepest wisdom in times of great challenge. And I know everybody says that, and it can sometimes feel like, yeah, we go through hard times, we learn a lot. This is where we get our wisdom, but it is the absolute truth. I mean, when we think about all of the things that we've experienced in our lives, the joys and the sorrows and the challenges and the things that come with great ease, we can recognize that there are just an abundance of lessons to be learned in challenging times. And when we truly acknowledge this and are willing to step into the opportunity to experience that gathering of wisdom that we find in the confluence, that we find in when we're feeling like things are swirling, which is one of the visions that really comes out of the confluence of waters. When you think of two rivers coming together, if you've ever had the opportunity to witness this yourself, you can also just do it in your mind's eye. There's a swirling that happens. There are currents that develop. Sometimes it's very subtle, and sometimes it can be very, a very gentle, slow merging. But in other times, it can be quite almost violent in the way that two waters can come together. We see this in spiral patterns and vortices that develop within the water itself. We may even see whirlpools, which are just a very powerful physical representation of the coming together of energies. And this is representative of, the spiral pattern is one of the most sacred patterns throughout all of history. It's a spiral of wisdom. It's a pattern of knowing, of repeating to a certain extent, and becoming stronger and stronger as it repeats. The spiral is one of the strongest patterns, physical patterns that we see created throughout nature. Think of seashells, for instance, and so many other representations of a spiral pattern that is a very stable, very strong structure that has integrity and resilience over time, and it can grow upon itself. It can become even stronger over time. And this is really one of the things that came through for me when I was contemplating the wisdom that can be found in the confluence of waters. The confluence is also, I feel like it's important to note that the coming together of two branches of two rivers to form a main channel it's not just about, it's not that both of those rivers have lost their identity in coming together, in unifying. They are integrating. And this is a really important difference, because the wisdom that is found within each of those channels, the wisdom that you are experiencing today in these challenging times, it remains the wisdom of the coming together. It does not dissolve. We're not talking about losing the wisdom that we have had in the past and dismissing it as though it's unimportant. There is still great value in that wisdom, and we are growing upon it. And when we bring the wisdom, when the wisdom merges together, is in a confluence. You're integrating your wisdom. You're creating a stronger, deeper channel that is more powerful for yourself, because you're more connected with your intuition and with that wisdom. And there's a stronger flow that exists as well when the two rivers come together and create one river channel. Your flow, which is your soul's language, your soul's support, that is with you at all times, regardless of what what branch of the river you're on at the moment, that flow becomes stronger and stronger as you bring your wisdom together in this merging, this confluence, this gathering of your wisdom. It was interesting how I had to postpone this offering, and I admit that I was disappointed and I was a little bit frustrated, but it also gave me time to sit more with this whole concept and to think about how to share it with you in terms of the wisdom that I was receiving as I meditated more deeply with this, with the confluence, with the energy of the confluence of waters and the gathering of wisdom. And something that came very clearly to me was wanting to share with you this, how salmon, the fish, that amazing, spiritually profound and physically amazing fish that we share this earth with, how they handle the confluence and the gathering of wisdom. As you may know, salmon spawn. They have their babies and they mate and they hatch their babies up in the headwaters of river systems, in small rivers. And the adults die up in those, in most cases, the adults die up in those areas, and the baby salmon go downstream and go out to the sea. And they're out there for a few years before they do their return journey. And that is really, I mean, that alone is pretty amazing. But the thing that I think most people are just, amazed by with salmon is that these salmon who are now adults migrating out of the ocean and back up into the river systems, they are able to identify the exact river or stream where they were born. And how do they do this? They have an inner knowing. They collect their wisdom as they are returning to sea from the places they were born. Each of those branches of the river system contains a number of signals for them to identify exactly where they need to get back to in the future when it's time for them to have their babies. And this really, the more I sat with this, it really felt like such an important thing for us to share, for us to contemplate in terms of tapping into our wisdom, especially in the wisdom that we are gaining in challenging times. That it's not just about the downstream, moving downstream. It's not just about that goal. It's not just about going from the springs and the very tops and moving downstream and eventually, going out to the ocean, and that is the awakening process, and that is the only direction that we are meant to go. Just as the spiral pattern reminds us that we repeat and we go around and we strengthen, we also have so much wisdom to gain by moving upstream, by moving back upstream, not only focusing on forward progress all of the time in our wisdom and in strengthening it, but recognizing that there is a tremendous wisdom in returning to our inner knowing, to, like the salmon, understanding that you have the ability to move back upstream and to connect with the wisdom that you have accumulated throughout your life and perhaps throughout many lives. So there's an energetic importance to this, because being able to come to a confluence of waters, a confluence of your wisdom that is coming together, being able to come to that point and understanding that there's an origin to this, and that there's deep wisdom in acknowledging the origin and even in exploring it once again, tracing back to it once again after you have already experienced moving downstream for some time. Our inner wisdom it's always with us. It is always with us. It is ancient, it's timeless, and it is with you in every moment. And in these challenging times of the pandemic and just all of the collective energy that can easily derail us from our inner wisdom, now is such an incredibly important time to remember that you are a gathering of wisdom. In every moment, you are bringing your wisdom together. You have the opportunity to become stronger, to bring your flow together, to create a deeper, more resilient channel for yourself and for connecting with your intuition, to the wisdom that you have within you that will support you in so many steps throughout your day, in centering yourself, in grounding yourself, in gaining perspective on the experiences that you are having right now in your heroic human journey. So at this point, I would like to transition into a brief guided inner journey where you can connect with this confluence of wisdom, this gathering of wisdom that is within you. And I also just want to remind you that you can access all three parts of this series of water wisdom on my website at ournaturalwisdom.com/waterwisdom. And if you are interested in learning more about the work that I do, you will certainly have access at my website for all of the options of working with me, from a group coaching experience to private sessions. I also offer a free breakthrough session at ournaturalwisdom.com/breakthrough. And if you read through that site, you'll learn more about what that entails. And I invite you to do so if this resonates for you. So I'm going to take a little drink of water from my gigantic water bottle. Okay. Now, once again, I invite you to really feel into the presence of water within you. Reconnect with that sense of groundedness that you have with Mother Earth in every moment. And feel the water moving through you. And how in this precise moment you have such a confluence of waters within you in all parts of your body. There are waters coming together, swirling together, providing so much wisdom. And as you breathe into this space, in your mind's eye, imagine that you are standing at the confluence of two rivers in nature. It could be a scene that you've been in the past in physical form, or it just could be a visual that you have in your imagination. And see how at the point that the waters are meeting, they come together in such a variety of ways. They may be gently merging together, creating swirling patterns. Maybe you see leaves that are gathered on a water surface to indicate where those swirling patterns are being created. Maybe there's little sticks. Anything that really helps you see how these two waters are gathering. Sometimes we even see waters that have different color in nature. One may be lighter than the other. And as they come together, they create these beautiful swirling patterns to indicate how they are gathering. And as you see this in your mind's eye, see how the gathering of these waters represents the gathering of wisdom that you are experiencing, especially now in your life. See how there's a spiral pattern that is being created, a gentle swirling that is coming together, and acknowledging how strong this structure is, this pattern in nature, knowing that this is a pattern that you are creating with your wisdom, especially now in your life. The spiral pattern that represents such strength and resilience and growth and beauty. And as you move downstream after these waters have come together, looking downstream, you see how this merging of the waters creates a stronger river with such flow and assurance and knowing. And imagine that you're walking downstream just a little ways along the riverbank, watching how the water is behaving. Seeing how the leaves and the little twigs and sticks that are at the surface of the water, they swirl for a while and then they eventually get moved out of the spiral and move downstream, moving to the next confluence. And as you turn and look back upstream and you see these two rivers that are coming together, you recognize that you can always return. You know exactly where you are. You know the wisdom that is available to you upstream. This is your wisdom. It is meant to be embraced. And you always have it available to you to return to. Even if the wisdom within a particular river channel feels a bit tender or challenging, now that you have experienced the gathering of your wisdom, you're able to acknowledge it in a different way and have such compassion for yourself, extending yourself such love for having experienced that, for having gained that wisdom. And as you are here in this space of the gathering of your wisdom, I invite you to take a deep breath and listen to what the waters have to say to you. The waters have a voice, and this is the voice of your soul speaking. What is the special message that these waters have for you today? What is the special message that these waters have for you today? One more time. What is the special message that these waters have for you today? And these waters are providing you so many blessings. They want to remind you that you are blessed in every moment, because you are nature, you are Mother Earth, you are these waters, you are the divine, you are completely connected. Your soul wants you to remember this, and these waters want you to remember this. And so they are offering you a symbol, a gift in this moment. What is this gift that they are offering you as a blessing? Something that you can call back on when you most need it. What is this gift, this blessing that they are offering you in this moment? And one last time, what is this gift, this blessing from the waters offered to you in this moment? And as you receive this and integrate it through your heart center, know that you are always connected with these waters of deep wisdom, deep blessing. Your connection with your intuition, with your soul, with Source, with the divine, however you choose to define that. And let's put our hands over our hearts and extend such gratitude to these waters for the wisdom that they have provided us today, for their blessings. And as we bow our heads to our souls, to ourselves, to Mother Earth, we see our souls and Mother Earth bowing to us in response, knowing that we have such great wisdom. And as you gently come back to the present, I thank you for your commitment to deepening your inner wisdom, your inner knowing, connecting with your intuition in this time. You need that. The world needs that. You are healing yourself in reawakening your connection with your intuition, and you are healing our world. So I am so grateful that you are here. Thank you for attending. And once again, if you're interested in seeing the other parts of this 3-part series, you can access them at ournaturalwisdom.com/waterwisdom. Thank you again. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Bye-bye.